was I talking about? Anyway, what was I talking about? I totally lost my train of thought. Where was I? Oh, scales. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to my little corner of YouTube land. Today is episode 13, lucky 13. All right. This is our beginning / end of the month that we have every month. Actually, we do these twice a month. We do the beginning of the month and then we do it at the end of the month. So anyway, I have some more announcements, but let's just get into what we're going to do today. So we have a finished object. This is the one skein stockinette and old Shale shawl that has yet to be named. As we said last week, I'm terrible at naming things. That is not a skill that I possess. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to go moving forward with testing and stuff because I don't know what to call it. Anyway, I actually wrote down what changes I made, and as you will notice, it has points. After I said I hate points. Okay, so final cashmere. And you know what else? I already cut the ends off. This is, whoa, I thought she was gonna go take a tumble. This is how much I left. It was under 1 gram. And this too that I redid, this is how much I had left. I think this was under 66 tenths of a gram. I think I had 0.6 something. And this was a little bit more than that, I think. But this is how I like to end because then I can keep it in case I have a little box that I keep in case I need a repair. But I'm not left with a huge, thing that I can do something else with. So this is perfect amount to be left with, in my opinion. So both of these are complete now. They have been completely finished and ends have been cut. What I did here is I did do a 3 garter ridges. So 1, 2, and the black one is the 3rd, and then the bind off. And I think I figured out why I didn't like the bind off when I originally did this, because this was done in a 3.5 millimeter. I don't go by sizes, I go by millimeters because that's easier to keep track of, because especially one day I noticed with my crochet hooks, it called for a G, and I was looking through my G hooks, and one was 4 millimeters and the other one was 425 millimeters, and I was like, well, I'm not calling them by numbers anymore or letters or whatever, but knitting needles are size 1, 2, 3, whatever. I don't go by that. I go by the actual size on it. I think it's easier because then you don't have to be like, what size is, Anyway, when I did, this is done in a 3.5, which is what I typically do for fingering shawls. 3.5 gives me the fabric that I like. Yeah, if you put it up to light, it kind of gets see-through-y. See, you can kind of see my arm through there. But when it's on you, it's not see-through, and that's how I like my fingering stockinette shawl. So if you want a tighter weave, go down a needle size, you'll get a tighter weave. So if you want a looser weave, go up. Anyway, what I did for the bind off, I typically go up 1 needle size for the bind off. And last time I wasn't paying attention, and so 3.5, I went for 4 for the bind off, which is why I didn't like it. So this time I went up to a 3.75, which is the next size up for the bind off, and now I like it. It's perfect, and it's nice and stretchy for this edge. Also, you can see the magnetic pin is making an appearance, and I put the 2 ends because there's a magnet on each side, so I put 1 end under each, and we'll see how this works out. See if it gets stuck to the cat crate that I got over here. Cat carrier. Tormund sleeps in a cat carrier at night because he's awful and he wakes me up. So he is basically crate trained, like a dog. So he goes in his crate at night and goes to sleep. Oh. I had a very, very bad LPR episode yesterday, so my voice is still a little scratchy, so hopefully that'll get better. I'm drinking tea, but it's not working very well. LPR is like heartburn, but it is centered in your esophagus, and you get esophageal spasms, and then you can't swallow things, and you have real bad chest pain. It's like a bubble. I feel like a bubble, like a trapped burp almost. Like, you know that scene in Alien where the alien bursts out of his chest? That's what I feel like all day long, and you can't lay down, you can't sleep. I just sit up as tall as I can, and I knit something completely mindless, which is why I made quite a bit of progress on our second triangle prototype, maybe? So that's almost done. As you can see, I'm almost done. Bad day yesterday, very, very bad day yesterday, but thankfully I was able to sleep last night, because the night before I was up all night. It was terrible. But last night I actually slept till almost 10 hours, which was fantastic. I never sleep more than like 5-6 hours, so 10 hours was fantastic. Oh my god, I loved it. It was so great. Anyway, that's why it's your stomach acid comes up into your throat, and it comes into my mouth. It's very bad. And so in order to protect your larynx and everything, your voice box and everything in here, your body starts to produce extra mucus to kind of, cover everything and protect it from the acid. The nice thing is that I don't ever feel burning, but I get to taste down in the bottom of my mouth. I can taste my stomach acids. And the only cure is surgery, and I don't want to have surgery. And I haven't even gone to see somebody because they put a scope up your nose and down your throat, and I don't want to have that done either. But really, I'm waiting until I'm vaccinated from COVID, and then I'll go back out. And like, now that everyone's getting vaccinated, I feel better going to the doctors. It's because there's a bunch of sick people at the doctors. I don't want to go to the doctor. So once that's done, I can go. Like, I got to get my eyes checked. I got to go to the lady parts doctor. I have to go to the dentist. Like, so many things I put off because COVID, and now I'm falling apart, because when you get old you start falling apart. It's like, I gotta get back to all these doctors, like, hurry up. And in reality, I probably won't get to them till next year anyway. So anyway, final cashmere. What I did here is we went to, now the yardage is different on this than these, so I figure what I'm going to do is I'm going to write on one pattern, and then, because it's stocking net until you reach 40 grams. You stop at 40. As long as you have 40 grams, you're okay. So if it's 40 plus, that's okay. If you want more of this, of course, you could stop earlier. You could stop at like 50 grams or whatever. So all of them would be the same. You stop stocking it until 40 grams. And then I was thinking I was going for like, for this yardage is 450. Is it 459? 452? 435? 435? 4. I don't remember. whatever this is, it's like 30 yards less than this, this yarn, okay? Because it's a cashmere, but my cashmere is the same and I can't remember what it is. Anyway, so after I went to 40 grams, remember, and then we counted. You want to count your things before, and then you're going to insert your lace. I was also thinking on one of these, maybe not next month. April's is when we're doing the half and half with the twist, but those are 4 different colors. I'm thinking of doing this then, but maybe putting a lace, this lace, what did I call this? Mesh. We'll put the mesh lace, like in the last part. So it would be stocking that all the way down, and then you'd have this last part as the end. I mean, it would be bigger than 8 holes. Obviously, we could go to 40. Or I might pick a different number. But that is my plan right now in April, because that'll have 4 colors. Maybe that would look really nice. And I wanted to do this in a mesh. For like the warmer, I think this is good for like fall and winter even, because this is really, I've used this in, not this shawl obviously because it was made up, but another one in winter, and it was really warm even though it's so thin. It's really warm, especially because this lace doesn't do anything. It doesn't let any air in or anything. But I have worn this in the winter under a coat and been great, and I am a freeze baby. You can also wear this inside and it's not too overpowering. So anyway, tangents. My brain just takes the long way everywhere. Okay, so 7 repeats. Okay, and so then we went to garter. So we did knit every row for 5 rows, which gave us 2 garter ridges on the wrong side rows. So this has 2 ridges. And then the bind off. My bind off for this was 0.77 grams. Which was nice. No, I had 7.77 grams left. Okay, so that little bit I showed you was 0.77 grams. I didn't write off what the bind off was yet. It was 347 minus 0.77. Anyway, that's what I mean when I like to work. I work until I cannot get one more row. And then I'll do a repeat. So everything in my design goes down to that last, taking it down to that last bit of, I cannot squeeze one more row out. So then I did, I only blocked half of her because the rest of her was blocked so well that I just put heavy stuff at the top, and I wet her halfway and then I did the points. So I don't know how good they look, but that's the main point at the bottom. I love how that one comes out so different than the other points. Again, I did not aggressively block this. I don't like to aggressively block this because I think it loses I don't think old Shale is a lace that needs to be aggressively blocked. Like the mesh, yes, because you can't really see that well when that needs to be aggressively blocked. This, not so much. It just needs to be opened up a little bit. And I think, even though I hate doing points, I think the points really just help to open up those eyelets. And so you can see it's there. And I love this on this base or on this die pattern. I think it's not too black. Like I said, look at this black over here. Not too much. It's not lost. It's not lost in there at all. Not like it was on this green one, right? Look at this. Look at this. Look at how gorgeous. Look at how gorgeous that is. And I love the spine. I took the spine. I take the spine down all the way So even when I do here, even when I get to the garter ridges, I still knit it. I mean, I still purl those because I like to have that spine all the way down. There's something about having the spine go all the way down that just, plus when you pick this point, it's really easy to find because they're basically pointing to it. I love the way the middle looks, especially if you're wearing it, you know, like this. You got that point right down there. I mean, how gorgeous is that? Really. Oh, and it's really, really soft. I love cashmere. It's so soft. Oh my god, I spent like 15 minutes talking about this. Okay. Anyway, she is done. She is finished. Her ends are cut off. This is finished, and now that the snow is starting to melt, we probably won't wear her until the fall. But that's okay. I might wear her inside a little bit still. Maybe we'll wear her next week. She's so pretty. Oh, I love her. Okay. Even though I'm going to come back to her in a minute. Okay, guys. I have a bit of a problem. Here's the thing. What day is today? It is the 24th. So I have 28 days. So I have 4 more days. So don't worry about me. This is going to be finished. But here's my top. It's not yet finished. We've got the actual top part is done. And I've just started the ribbing. We've got I think we have 150 rows of ribbing to do. So I got to use up, I forget how many. I got to read my thing because I forgot how many it was. So this is my night knitting now. This will be done though by the end of February. That's what, Sunday I think is my last day. Also, February dye project not yet done. Really, I'm getting burnt out on the stockinette. And I noticed in some of my videos I say stockinette and then I say stockinette, and I know it's stockinette, but sometimes when I am nervous and rushed, I will be like in my head say, don't say stockinette, don't say stockinette, and then I say stockinette. Because that's how my brain works. Anyway, I'm not sure we're really any farther because I have been working on a million other things. But this too, I actually buckled down the other day and got a lot done. So we've only got like 20 grams left. So 2 days, or 4 days, 20 grams, it'll be fine. But again, sorry these are not done on our end of the month where we're celebrating everything we did this month. It's not done yet. Is it darker in here? I took the screen protector, my husband took the screen protector off of this whole thing, because we're being recorded by a camera. So I can't see where the frame is in the camera, and because I don't have a camera person to say, hey, we're out of frame, I have a laptop, Chromebook maybe, that we plug into so I can see everything. And I took the screen protector off, and now everything is it's so glossy I can't see anything. All I see is like reflections of everything, so it's not helpful at all. I'm gonna have to get the screen protector or another one, because he just told me you ruin them when you take them off, and I'm like, why did you take it off? Whatever. Anyway, can you see this? I'm not sure how much. Yeah, we were here because I remember talking about these, but now I can't see anything to looks like we got some alternating right here though. Look at that. Even can you see where this black is coming over here and the burgundy's coming in over here? Like, we even got that happening. Oh my god, and it's like the same. No, that one looks like 3 rows, and then there's 2 rows of the. No, there's 3 rows right there. Okay, anyway. How cool is that? Get more black over here. Yeah, look. Okay. Anyway, I'm really excited to get this done so we can look at it as what it fully looks like. Actually, too, I want to turn around so you guys can see the back of this. But I did really like doing, remember I put a 3rd row in. I really do like the 3rd row. I think it looks great. So I'm going to do the same with that one. This is going to suck a little because I'm not sure how you can. Everything's backwards. Is that kind of straight on? I do this. I just love it. Oh my god, I love it so much. So I think the red one's gonna look pretty good. And I'm excited. I want to put them side by side, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. If I'm gonna have to like take a picture or, because they're very large, it's gonna be hard to put them up against each other. I don't really know what I'm gonna do, but I am trying to find a way to do that with all 3 of them, to see, like, to compare and contrast them and to see which one has like more alternating or more the striping that I like. Did I just say I like striping? Or the alternating and the mirroring, all those things. So I'd like to see how they all how that all comes together. So that's done. So what we're going to talk about now is end of the month, beginning of the month. So end of the month, we don't have the dye project. We didn't have a big project. So we had dye projects. We had, oh my god, I didn't write down. So we have a dye project. Wait, here we go. Look at my planner. Even though I'm already planning on next month. So last month we had dye projects, which is not yet done, but will be done. Burgundy top will be done. Harlot Cashmere, that's done. Triangle 1, done. Triangle 2, that'll probably be done. And our test shawl, which I am restarting on the 1st. Because my gauge was wonky, so I'm kind of foregoing gauge and restarting it. Anyway, so we got, what did I say? So we got 1 top, our dye project, and the Harlot Cashmere. So we got 2 shawls and a top this month, plus both of our test triangles, which was the whole reason we didn't have a bigger project this month. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects this month. Is that right? Dye project, burgundy top, Harlot Cashmere, triangle 1, and triangle 2. Okay, so we did 5 projects. It's great. Good job. High five. 5 projects. So that really, round of applause. 5 projects. It's hard to like, because they're not done yet. But still, they'll be done, and it's going to be great. The problem with doing this, I don't want to switch my things because our dye project show is next week, and so if I wait to do it after the 1st, then I'm screwing up how to be. Plus I do these on Wednesdays instead of Friday, so one of them, maybe both, will be done Friday. I don't know. So anyway, let's see what we've decided for what is next with March. let's see what we've decided for March. And I'm going to open up a planner so I can tell you. First of all, I have to tell you, I again have made some changes because, as you know, hold on. My throat hurts so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm so scratchy. I'm trying a new clear fiber, inulin. Have you heard of this? Inulin. I have to take fiber as a supplement for my IBS. More health issues that I have. And inulin comes in three different. Comes from three different sources. One is chicory root, one is agave, and the other is some sort of, oh my God, artichoke? Jerusalem artichoke or something? The chicory root has a bad taste. This agave has a bad taste. But the other one has a sweet, just means I have to use less stevia in my, because I have them all in tea. I drink it in tea because I drink 2 cups of tea a day. So I put 3 scoops of it in my tea, and then I have that during the day. Usually my first tea is a latte with some oat milk or almond milk, and then the other 2 parts are usually an iced tea in the afternoon, and then before I go to bed I have a little bit of hot tea that's left, whatever's left over, if I have leftover. Sometimes I don't have leftover, but anyway, that agave is not good. I don't like it. Anyway, what was I saying? It just got dark in here because the sun went away a little bit. I made a change for how I schedule my projects, because that's a lot what this podcast is about, or is about scheduling your time, stash busting, planning your projects, and then figuring out when you're going to do those. So I made a decision that, okay, remember the other episode, we decided to add in weekend projects, and then I also said I never count my night projects. So that got me thinking, the night projects, why don't I schedule those? Why don't I have a plan? And this came from the weekends when we talked about how I think I'm gonna have a weekend project going, because I'm tired of working on the same things 5 days in a row. So on the weekends, I'm gonna have a running list of weekend things, okay, to do. And so I'm going to schedule that in my planner on my weekends, because it gives me these 2 little for weekends, and I already have Slytherin in both places for Slytherin. But then, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. There is this part right here where I don't know if you can see it, but the page, see this right here? This little line here, this shows through over here. See this? It's right here. So I can see this on this page. I don't think the camera's picking it up. Oh, it kind of is. Do you see that right here? Do you see this line right here? This line. So that's my night stuff. I got a place to write my night stuff. So for right now, it's all tops. It's just top, because tops is like the only thing that I can put right there. So, and then on this one it has 2 top. So that gives me 2 things each weekday, because these 5 are my weekdays. So it gives me 2, look, that's show on Wednesday, do the show. That'll be our dye project next week. So if I have 2 and 2 plus the night, perfect, right? Then I have my weekends and the nights. Okay, so I just scheduled, since we just talked about doing the weekends, and I would just have a running list of weekend projects that I'll probably do by season. I gotta find a place to put that, because I mean, just a piece of paper to write it on. One of my million notebooks, I'll write that somewhere. Actually, I'm thinking it'll probably be a sticky tab, and I'll put it maybe like in my monthly planner. I might like sticky tab it and put it somewhere. That might be what I'll do. So anyway, I was thinking we're going to keep a running list of weekend projects, and I'll probably do those per season. So since we're only March and April to get through the weekends, our weekend projects. So I was thinking of doing the same exact thing with the night projects, which are mostly tops. So I'm going to have to figure out what are going to be my nightly projects, what ones qualify as nightly projects, because some of my things, once they get to a certain spot, they can then be nightly projects. Like this could be a nightly project until I get close enough to where I need to measure. But if I'm also working on this during the day, I might not want to. So I think it all depends. I think the more I give myself a break from these, the less I get burned out, and the more I'll want to work on them during the week. So I think I might just leave the dye projects as the other half of my day, my during the day projects. So I'm scatterbrained today. What's new? So right? You're like, oh, are you? Shocker. Okay, so I don't even want to go over these. We're not going to do any of these at all. These are not getting done. Oh my God. We're in March. So March, I've decided our big project is going to be the test knit that I want to get done. So test knit, we have our tricolor shawl. I have not picked the colors yet. I'm probably going to do that sometime between now and Monday, because Monday's dye day. So far I only know the black's going to be 3% like I like it, but guess what? Because it's tricolor, we got to cut it in a third instead of half. So new math. Get ready. February. Okay, so here is what I did for, I just put this here because we have cashmere and a top for February. That cashmere's done, top it will be done. So here's our weekend and our nights. I'm adding these in here, weekend, night. So weekend for March, I have the Slytherin. Remember the Slytherin changing staircases? Maybe? And the lace shawl. If the Slytherin gets done, then we'll do the lace shawl. And then at night, we're going to have top for pattern. Okay? Now, that's our plan right now. As we know, things can change. So, we have okay. Test knit. I'm not even going to talk about because there's no point until it's released. So we have March dye project, which we said is going to be blue, gray, and black. This will be dyed. This will be dyed next episode, and we'll go over everything we did for this. Then we have our weekend project, changing staircases, right? And I put her in a thing. Isn't she pretty? This, if this gets done, which maybe, then this will be the lace, a lace triangle out of this. Okay? And then we have our top. This still hasn't been done. I want to get this done just so I can stop showing it to you. So this will be our night project. This is going to be a starting night project. So that is our month for March, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 projects again. 5 projects. I don't think that should be a problem. Do you think that'll be a problem? I think 5's okay. I think that's fine. Now, a couple announcements. So I went over, right? My test knit and my dye projects are going to be my weekday projects, split into my weekday projects. And then the weekends will be Slytherin and the lace, and then the night is going to be top. And then we'll see what we can pull in from, like I said, some of the nights will be pulled in from the days, like the dye projects. I know I can pull that in. Depending on how easy the weekend project is, I can pull that in. If I run out of top, I'm debating on whether I'm going to make another top or if I'm going to start on the lace shawl or not. Not sure. It's going to depend what I do with the dye project, which I won't know what I'm going to do with that dye project until I block that dye project, because remember, we did the eyelets. So we have open to see if I get more stretch there, which I'm not sure I need it. These came out pretty long, so I'm not sure I'm going to need it, but I mess up less if I do a yarn over if I do a yarn over as a increase, I can't mess that up, because when I come back, it's either there or it's not. Like with the make ones, there's a stitch there. I don't know if I made it or not, because I'm not counting. Because it's like, hundreds of stitches. I'm not counting that. Anyway, and I do kind of like having an open. I think it's prettier. But like for those, I like to keep them closed. But maybe. Anyway, okay, here's my announcement. I'll bring her closer. My announcement is I'm now ready for testers for this pattern. So what I wanted to do is I want to open it up as a knit along, and you just bring a skein of fingering weight yarn that you want to make, and we're going to make this. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to list the yardage of your yarn, and I don't care what it is. You're going to tell me what the yardage is. Oh, by the way, I started a Ravelry group, Mourning Studios Beyond the Veil, where this is all going to happen. I also put it, we'll put it down below, link to it down below. I'm thinking we'll start this March 1st, but it's going to go the whole month of March. We'll do this. And even after, if you go, because we'll have stragglers. That's fine. I don't care. But what I want to do is I want to be able to see how we get with your yardage. So that can help me better with my pattern, because I think I'm going to do it in one, and then if I can split for yardage or split for weight. So it'd be helpful if you had a scale. I'm not going to ask you to give me a gauge. I just want to know what needles you used and your 100 grams to whatever yardage. Maybe we will randomly pick one winner. If we get a dozen testers, dozen knit-alongers, I'll do a prize for just one randomly. I'll give you like a skinny yarn. Think about it. We'll talk about it. So it'll be like a knit along, and you'll be testing for me. And you'll have the whole month to do it, from March 1st to March. Wednesday, March 31st, 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. Make that the cutoff. Would you guys do it? Would you guys do it? Would you do a knit along test knit for me? Because here's what I'm thinking. Okay. First of all, I'd be there to help you. And we could figure out what we can get with what yardage from everybody, which would be helpful for me, with how I want to write the pattern, because I want to, like I said, it goes to stockinette until you hit 40 grams. And then we would do, I'm trying to think, when my last 7th repeat left me with 906 grams. So then my last row of knit, so it was knit forward, knit on the right side. So this is actually backwards. The bind off is on the wrong side. So it's row 5. So row 5 is a right side row. So at the end of my row 5, I had 3.47 grams left. And that was enough to get the bind off with 0.77 grams left over after cutting. That's after weaving in and cutting everything. So that is the kind of information I want from you. So if you have a scale, I guess even if you don't, but it would be helpful, because otherwise I don't know how to tell you to get to when you start. Anyway, I thought having a knit along test would be, because then it's not really like a test, because I just want to see when you get here, we're going to focus on the Shale. And then I was thinking maybe next month we can do this one. If I get this done next month, if I get this done this month, you guys, should we skip the Slytherin and do the other one? Do you think we should? Maybe we do that. Skip the Slytherin for right now and get this done. Would you be able to test knit along two shawls in 2 months? Because I'm giving you a whole month to do this. I don't think it would take, if that's all you're working on, it's not going to take you a month. If you got 5 projects going like me, it might take you the whole month. But then I was thinking we could do this one next month. And then April. Then on April, I'm doing the 4-color one, which I want to do this with this on the edges. So we could do that the following month. Guys, do you want to test knit with me for like 6 months? How fun would that be? No, you don't. Okay, that's okay. Well, whatever. I'm thinking if we can get at least, it's the 13th episode, if we can get 13 testers, we'll do this, 13 testers, and we'll do a prize. And if we have less than 13 testers, maybe we'll just do a prize anyway. I don't know. But if you want to get in the Ravelry group, we'll figure some stuff out. Because that's the only feedback I need is this part and how much you're left with and how much, because I'm worried about like people that don't have scales that want to do my pattern, and I don't know how to give you a pattern without having a scale. And I use the jeweler's scale, which is what I think like drug users use. Because it gives you 2/10. It doesn't just give you, like my little one that I use for my butters, because I make my own body butters. That was also something I was thinking of sharing with you. Because you can make that from home too. It's very easy. And I keep my hands from cracking and stuff when I'm working. And when I wash my hands a million times a day when I have, when it's kitten season and I go wash my hands. Seriously, every 2 hours, I gotta feed cats, and I have to wash my hands between each litter, and then at the end, and at the beginning. So even if I have 1 litter of cats, that's 3 hand washings every 2 hours. It's terrible. So my last hand washing, I have a special body butter that I made with, I didn't put it on last time I washed my hands right before I came in here. And I didn't put it on because I don't have the screen protector anymore on my screen. And it's a touch thing. Anyway, I didn't want to mess it up. What was I talking about? Anyway, what was I talking about? I totally lost my train of thought. Where was I? Oh, scales. I think it's an easier, here's why I use a scale, because it's easier. Patterns always call for a certain yardage to 100 grams. Like everything's like in 100 grams, right? Like everything is pretty much 100 grams. Watch me pick one that's not 100 grams. Okay, this is 100 grams. This is all Naturale, 100% untreated, extra fine merino. Oh, this is Sweater Sisters. This is Sweater Sisters. This is some of the softest yarn. This is called Black Hellebore. She's from the Tetons. Untreated extra fine. Oh, it's glorious. And she's got like 34 colors. And she also does like a mohair that is, they're all the same color. So she does them all in the same, all the different bases in the same color. This is really nice because it's got some green. See, like army green, tan in it. I don't know what Hellebore is, but oh my god, this is like a little bit of blue. I found her on the Virtual Fiber Festival, which was just last week. Was she on? Yeah, I think she did a snow dye. I had trouble watching hers. It kept stopping for me. But anyway, what was I talking about? So this is 100 grams, 437 yards. Okay, so that's what, 435. This is 460. Oh my god, I don't even know the yardage of my own yarn. 462, I think. So when you have them in all different yardages, it's easier if you weigh them. If you weigh them at different parts of your thing, which is why also it's really handy to keep them in a cake cozy like this. Oh god, I'm so sorry. This happens on my next day, like my whole system's resetting itself. I'm gonna have hiccups, I'm gonna have burps, I'm gonna have coughing. It's awful. So if you have this, because this is what I weigh this first, weigh it before I start my project, and I write that down. So then each time I come to a spot, take it out of there, and it's still in cake form, and I plop it down, weigh it again. It's easier to rely on your weight than your stitch count, because the stitch count isn't going to matter. If your yardage is short, you're not going to be able to get to that same stitch count. Like, I don't want to tell you, it's like 129 each side, right? It was 129 each side minus the 3 selvage in the middle, right? So this is 435. Let's say yours is 400. Do you think you're going to make it to 129 and still be able to do all this? No. So what you have to do is rely on your yardage. This is what I do for all my things. Even when I'm changing from weights, when I'm changing from my worsted to DK for my tops, these tops, I go by weight. Because it's going to be your weight is going to be the same percentage of your yarn. Does that make sense? Do you have to go over percentages again? So like 50% of the weight is going to be the same. Of 100 grams, 50% of 100 grams is always going to be 50 grams. No matter if it's this weight or this weight, because this is DK. 100 grams. 50 grams is going to be half of your yardage. Okay? 40 grams is going to be 40 50% of your yardage. Remember, because it's all 100 grams. It's all 100 grams. You don't even have to think about it. 40%, 40 grams. 50%, 50 grams. Very easy. But the yardage is all different. Okay? Does this make sense to you? So if you go by weight, you can do this theoretically. And this is what I want my testing to help me figure out. So please come test and use whatever. Well, it had to be fingering because I don't think you can get this in a in anything here's 100 grams of worsted, not as big as 100 grams of fingering. Okay, like there's no way I can wrap this around. Maybe after I black it, but there's no way it's going to be. Let's do this way. Because this is the one I'm wearing, right? These are both 100 grams, right? Not the same size, right? Okay, so you'd have to do fingering. But that means if you were to do a project that was in worsted and you just went, because this is how I think patterns should be written. I think you should work until you get a certain size, till you get a certain weight, instead of a certain stitch count. For shawls anyway. That's how I like to design, because it's easier for me to know rather than, and then you don't have to count stitch counts, you just have to weigh it. Does that make sense to you? I went on a little tangent again. Surprise. So yeah, then it wouldn't matter what, but then see, you're not going to get the same length. If you do this on 100 grams and it's let's say it's 400 yards, you're not going to get as far down before you hit your 40 grams. That's why I'm saying I don't want to do this as a stitch count, because then you can't use any skein you want. And I want you to be able to use any skein. I don't want you to be beholden to my yarn to be able to have these patterns work for you. So buy a scale. They are not, I think mine was like $15. I got it on Amazon. It's a jewelry scale. And then we do have some open, I have 2 open episodes this month that don't have things, so maybe we'll talk about weighing your yarn and stuff like that. I wonder if I can make that into an actual episode. I'm not sure. We'll have to think about it. But then I can go over some scale things and weighing things with you. Maybe we'll do that. Next week is die project, and then maybe next week we'll do weighing and anyway, let's see if we can get enough people for a test knit along. That'll be funny. I'm gonna put it up on I got to take good pictures of this as I haven't announced it yet. So you're gonna see this Friday, so I may have already announced it because it looks like the sun went in a little bit, so I'm gonna take this outside and take some pictures, because the sun was so bright earlier and I don't like to take pictures in bright light. I like to wait till it looks like it's a little bit overcast now. So I'm going to call on a test knit along. That'll be fun, test knit along, to do this. And if you want to come join my Ravelry group, I also have a Facebook group. If you don't want to do that, it doesn't matter, because I can be in all places. So if you want to knit along and help me test this pattern, and 2, if you want to change the bottom, if you don't want to have the spikes, we can discuss how to do that. So this is the perfect time to get one-on-one with me to get the shawl how you want it. And if you want to put the mesh lace in there, I'll let you do that too. We'll just let you do that. Who cares? We'll let you do that. because that will help me in my upcoming one when I'm designing that. So whatever you want to do, if you want to come join, there's nobody, it's just me and myself. Like me, because I did a morning to studio one and then one for just me because I wanted to keep them separate. So on the morning do, you'll just see my dye stuff that I've actually dyed, and then you'll also get my dye patterns. Now those are gonna be on my website. Anyway, I think that's all I've got, and we're at about an hour, so I'm trying to think if there's anything I forgot to say. I don't know. I'm worried no one's gonna want to do a test knit along with me, and then I'll be sad. But I think it will be fun if you like a choose I'm all about this choose your own adventure shawl. But I was thinking of that I think the best way to write it is to write it with weights, so you don't get caught up in stitch counts. And then in the pattern I'll show you how to figure out your stitch counts in there. And I'll probably, if you guys could give me your stitch count before you started, that would probably help me, because then I could say, if you have this many, like, I like pooling data. So like, if I even have 10 testers, that's 10 experiments that I'm not doing on my own, because otherwise I gotta do these all by myself. But this was 129, right? I'm pretty sure I wrote it down 129 because I'm trying to keep every piece of information that I need. So 129, if we have the stitch counts, 129, that would give me a bigger pool of information in order to, also if you guys are able to weigh, that can give me, maybe I can give you a way of do this until until your leftover yarn measures as much, because I really think that's the better way to go with things like this, especially when you're trying to use the whole thing. So we can help you not run out of yarn and help you at whatever gauge you want to help you stay, help you get your desired result, right? And if you like using up as much of the skein as I do, you'll be more confident with how much time you have left, how much yarn you have left by what your thing weighs. Because I keep all those too. I keep all of my see, those are all what my weight was. Oh, I lost it. 906, then 800, 684. No, don't go away. 684, 529, 456, 347.77. I keep all that. So these are all my notes. Yeah, what was 129? I see it right here. I got my notes right here that it was 123 and 125. And then I have my pattern right there. So I want to start on the first because I still have to write out the pattern. I mean, I have it. I just haven't type it up, and I want to get some pictures. So this weekend we're going to do some picture time so I can get some nice pictures with it. But I think right now I'm going to take the mannequin outside and take some pictures for Instagram, and see if we can't, then I'll open a thread on in Ravelry with this picture of if you want to test, and I'll give some requirements for that. I love that point. Look how pretty that is. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to say. That's my announcement. I want to do a test knit along. Everyone is free to join. I don't care. I'm trying to figure out if there will be a prize. I think it depends on how many people we get. And I'm going to have to look into shipping internationally. If we do, that's the only thing holding me back from doing anything is shipping right now, because I don't know anything about shipping at all. I don't know how to ship things. I don't know. And I don't know where. The USPS website is ridiculously unhelpful for that. Like, I need to talk to someone that actually does this. Like, but indie dyers won't help other indie dyers get started. It's a problem. It is a problem. Like, there's one indie dyer. I will tell you who she is. Hotnit Yarn. She posts a picture every day of all the stuff that and she says, orders before this time, ship out today. I want to ship like that. I want to ship like how she ships, and I don't know how she does it. Like, I'm pretty sure her, like, I know your mail carrier comes and picks it up, right? My mail carrier is a terrible human being, and I don't think she would pick up stuff. My last one was awesome. This one, not so much. I've seen her leave cards in there that says, sorry, we missed you. You have a package. And I have been sitting here because we have a big picture window out the front of our house, a big picture window. I can clearly see the mailbox. I can see you put that in there. And then I go out to get the mail and, sorry, we missed you. And I'm like, I'm right here. Like, you did not come to the door. You did not attempt to deliver this. And I keep getting my bills late, especially my water bill has consistently been late, and I've been blaming that on whatever's happening at the post office right now, not specifically my mail carrier, because I don't normally have bills go late. I've had one bill go missing one time since we've been living here, and so my water bills keep coming late, so I just keep paying them like $90. And then I got my bill today, it was like 20 something, and I'm like, whoops. Like, no wonder my overdraft protection kicked in, because I gave the water company $100. Whatever. I was afraid that I wouldn't, if I didn't give them enough, like, I don't want to get like late charges or whatever. I'm so ridiculous. Anyway, I don't know how to ship, so if you have any shipping advice, get in touch with me. Talk to me if you know anything about that, because I'm terrified to ship things like internationally, or I just assume it's going to cost me like $50 to ship something somewhere and stuff like that. So really, if you do any of that, let me know how you do that. What are your secrets? Where do you go? Because there have to be like some, I don't know how she gets the post office to show up at her house every day at a specified time and take care of her. She must have a really nice mail carrier, because I don't think mine would do that. Anyway, that's really what's holding me back from even the business side, is I have no idea, and it's so overwhelming to even think about it. Like, to even think about like you not even just the postage part of it, but like packaging and all that stuff. No idea. No clue. There's so many other things you got to think about that than just dyeing stuff up and slapping it up for sale, because I'm ready to do that. I can do that. It's the whole shipping it that I hate shipping things. I hate going to the post office. And my post office has one of those ATM things. It's not an ATM, but you know what I mean? It's an automated postal thing where it weighs your thing for you and it asks you a million questions, and none of them make any sense. I'm like, I don't know. They don't have like bubble mailers on there. It's just like, is it a letter or a box? I'm like, it's a bubble mailer. It is neither, and yet both. So like, I don't think they mean it's a letter. I think they mean it's a package, and then I'm supposed to like measure it. It doesn't make any sense at all. And also, when I do packaging, I don't want to do plastic packaging. I've been looking into packaging that's recyclable, but I don't want to do like, I've had some compostable plastics, and because I don't think I want to do paper. I don't want to do boxes. And I was thinking it would really be nice to have those ones that like you just open, that have like a, like, you know, the Amazon ones have that perforated thing that you tear open. I want something like that, so nobody's taking scissors where they could potentially, you know, cut their yarn that I'm sending them and stuff like that. the inner packaging I have all set up. I'm not using any plastics at all. No plastics. It's going to be all paper and stuff that can be composted or recycled. I'm not going to use any plastic. I hate when stuff comes in plastic because then I got to throw it out and I feel bad for the birds and the sea turtles and all that stuff. So that's where I'm stuck at. If you have any recommendations, if you have a site that explains it, please post that below for me, because that would be super helpful, because I really want to be fully prepared. You know me with my planning. I have to be prepared or I'm scared to death of it. So I need some help. Please help me. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now, and I had so much fun today. I knew I was going to have fun this episode, because I love the end of the month episodes where we're like, look at what we're going to do next month and look at all we got done. Even though 2 things are not done, 3 things are not done, but that's okay. They'll be done. I think we're set up really good for next month. I think I am going to slip that Slytherin out and put the lace triangle in for my, especially if you guys are going to want to test knit this for me, and test knit this maybe next month, and then the following month we'll do test knit, and then we might be able to test knit our bias ones. And the bias are fun because those are going to be garter, and they're going to be stockinette, and they're also going to be that lace and the mesh lace. So we have a ton of things to get through. If you want to be my testers, come join the Ravelry group. Please, please, please tell your friends if they want to join too. Please, please, please. Hopefully we get enough people and we can do some random giveaways. I don't want to like make it anything like, I don't want anyone to vote anything. I just want to do, if you participated, you have an equal chance. If you finish, you have to finish, we'll have an equal chance to win something. We'll figure out what you guys want to do. Maybe I'll put up some poll and see what kind of things you guys want. Maybe we'll do like a little gift basket thing, depending on how there has to be. I'm going to cut off 13 because this is episode 13 and 13 is lucky number. So we're going to have 13 people at least. But I'll still probably pick somebody at random to get something little. But we'll do a big one if there's at least 13 people. So anyway, this is so much fun. I'm going to say bye for now. Next week is dye project. Still haven't figured out those colors. Blue, gray, and black. But other than that, black at 3%. That's all I got. I don't know the blue or the gray or anything else. So I feel like I'm missing something, and I really don't think I am missing something. I think I got everything. Did I get everything? I think I got everything. Anyway, I gotta get pictures of that before the sun goes totally away, because it's only like 1 o'clock. 2:40. Oh my gosh. It's almost 3. Okay. Come find me in Ravelry if you want to be a test knit along participant. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I will see you next week. Bye.